I'm thankful for the opportunity. Thankful for Coach Swinney allowing me to speak with the media today, and just thankful for his leadership and the opportunity to work here at Clemson going in my third year. It's been truly a great experience, and just really proud of our team and just proud of the people that I work with in this building. They've done a really amazing job and just made my experience here just one of the best I've ever had in my coaching career. And so I'm just truly blessed to be here. Just really proud of our team, with where they're at and just how they've been just working hard and staying humble, staying together, and just really, staying inside out and just keeping their head down and working just to be better every day. And, Coach Swinney does a great job of just reminding us to stay inside out, through trials and tribulation and through your success. And I think when you can do that, that's when greatness comes. But right now we're just, focused on finishing and, focus on the opportunity that we have as a team, work really hard, and people just remember, what you do in November. And so we just got to finish strong. We've been here before a couple years ago, and when we were 8-0, when we didn't finish the season, we gave 2 games away. And so our focus right now is just getting better this week. We have an opportunity to coach the guys up and correct some mistakes, and there's always room for improvement. And let's continue to keep our heads down and stay humble and continue to work.
Any questions for Coach?
You mentioned this has been one of your best experiences coaching, I guess. What has made it so memorable for you?
It's the people. It's the people that make the place. Starting with Coach Swinney and just who he is as a man, and how he values family, cares about the players, cares about the staff, and it's just been truly amazing. And he also challenges us every single day to be the best version of ourselves. And I've been a better family man, better parent, since I've been here at Clemson, and gives an opportunity to work on areas of my life that's outside of football, and so I'm truly grateful for that. As well as the people I work with, the coaching staff, our support staff, and just everybody in this building just made it such a unique experience. And like I said earlier, it's the people who make the place, and the people here at Clemson are just truly amazing. Our fans have been fans of. Been a part of my family for 20-something years since I decided to make a decision to come here back in 1998. So I'm just truly blessed.
Talk about finishing in November. How can this team continue to achieve that? What can they do better in your eyes to reach the goals that you've set out?
I think, we just can never just become complacent. Just continue to work, stay humble. We're, a really good football team, and when you're a really good football team, there'll be a lot of great things written about you. But you got to stay inside out, remain humble through this process, and we got to finish, and that's what it comes down to. It's all about how we finish towards this last stretch, and just continue to stay together, and look in the mirror and figure out how you can get better, how you can get better as a coach, how you can get better as a player, and just continue to eliminate mistakes. Go back to the drawing board. It always comes down to technique and fundamentals, and and toughness and effort and the things that we talk about that our football program was built on. And so those are the things we got to do in order to finish.
Can you shed light on the growth of this defense as a whole, but specifically closing that gap between the starters and the backups?
Guys are consistently learning. They just start with us as a staff. Just continue to, implement our plan and make sure guys know what to do. And so we got to be great teachers, great motivators. And because a lot of our young guys are getting an opportunity to play. Offense is doing a really good job this year of, scoring points and creating some, huge margins. For us to play a lot of our young guys. And those guys are getting better. I think, the more opportunity they have an opportunity to play, and the better they're going to get. And so sometimes getting better, sometimes going out there and making some mistakes, getting hit in the mouth, and you learn from that, and you continue growth. That's where growth comes from. And I think guys are doing a really good job of growing and learning from the mistakes, and because they got film now to watch. And so, but really proud of our defense. Not where we want to be ever. You always want to continue to work hard. There's always room for improvement. But guys are working really hard, and you're able to challenge those guys, and they've always stepped up to challenge it every week. And so I'm just looking forward to this last half of the season, as a coach, to be able to teach them and help them learn how to get better.
It seems like a really extra bonus of like an unforeseen, maybe positive that maybe the fans don't recognize, like your offense doing so well that like those backups get that real game experience, and they're playing most of the time the starting team of an ACC.
Absolutely. There's really no such thing as a backup. When you're on the field for that play, you're a starter. And, guys are having we talk about opportunity, guys are having some opportunity to go out and play. And playing experience is the best experience you have to get better, to be able to develop. And I had an opportunity to play here early, my freshman year. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations, heartaches and pains. And so that's what our guys are having an opportunity to do. They have an opportunity. Some guys are playing some really good football for us. That's going to be some really great players moving forward. So I'm excited for them and the opportunity they've had, and just really proud of how they've handled it. Getting back in the classroom, getting on the field, and just continuing to work hard and just bringing the energy, the effort, and the execution every single day. And they've always stepped up to the challenge. And so I'm just really excited. Once again, just about our youth of our team and guys having an opportunity to play and get better.
What's some of the progression you've seen from the D-line from Georgia until this past week?
I think for us, just speaking of the D-line, it's just guys staying together and just really playing hard. Their effort has been really, really great this year. Just got to fine-tune the minute details of our work. I got to fine-tune the minute details of my coaching to help our players be great on the field. That's my job. Got to motivate them to get them better. So it starts with me at the defensive front. But I think guys have done a really good job of staying healthy this year, just being available. But their energy and attitude have just been top notch. Our leadership with guys like Trey and Peyton Page and Damonte Parker and Peter Woods and TJ Parker, and the list goes on, have done a really good job, man. Not just leading defensive line, but leading our team. And really proud of those guys, the way they've been working, just kind of remaining humble through this process, and continue to just get better because there's always room for improvement. You're always going to be working on technical fundamentals every single day. So you just got to continue to, keep your head down and work.
With the jumbo package, do you have any input on Peter being a fullback and possibly a tight end, or do you leave that to Terry?
I think, for me, it's just that whatever it takes. And those guys are team players, and, they want to win. And so in terms of the jumbo package, I coach defense. Garrett Riley is our offensive coordinator. And but those guys do a good job. They're team players, and they'll play wherever you ask them to do. And there's no job too small for us. So those guys, they'll play any role. They're on multiple special teams, and just really proud of how unselfish they are. Just to go help, they'll do whatever it takes to win. And so that's the most important thing.
I guess with Peter, we always see kind of how physical he is and how athletic he is and all that. But his intelligence.
Yes.
How do you see that play on the field? Like, how would you see kind of manage?
And that's one of the great things about Peter is just football intelligence. Great football player. He came from a great football program down in Thompson, down in Alabama, and won a lot of state championships there. And so, his football IQ, football intelligence is really high. That shows up on the field. He can see some things and dissect some things quicker than a lot of people, and that's just a special gift that he has. He's a special football player, but like all football players, there's always areas of his game he needs to improve on. He's still a young football player. He plays a true freshman going into his second year, and so there's some areas of his game that I've challenged him to get better at. And he's a kid that you can coach hard and challenge, and he always steps up to the challenge. So just really proud of him. And I think the biggest thing is just seeing his maturation as a leader for our defense and for our team. And so just really proud of him, and it's going to continue to challenge him to get better every day.
I think it was in July you talked about 2023 for Damonte Parker was about getting his confidence back. Just how does he continue to find that groove, I guess, this season?
K-Part has just been really outstanding this year. His effort has been, you see it on tape because you are what you put on tape, and he's putting it on tape. just area of his game, defensive line play. You always got to work on your technique and fundamental, but he has really been playing really, really hard where you notice him on tape consistently. He's an example of a guy that didn't get a lot of opportunity to play a lot in his previous years because all the Brian Brzez's, the Tyler Davises, and the Ruka Roros were here. And so now he's stepped into the role of starter. Well, in 23, he went into games and he was averaging somewhere between 10 to 15 snaps a game, but he made the best of those snaps. When he went in, he made his presence known. And so, he's a prime example of a young guy who's kind of been sitting in the crock pot just waiting for an opportunity to play. And when he had those opportunities, man, he showed up on tape. And so now that he's a starter, he's really done a very good job of just, leading the defensive line and just playing, by example. And so I'm really proud of him in the way he stepped up this year, and always areas of his game that he needs to improve on. And I've challenged him, to get better this week, and he's going to continue to do that. So really excited about how he's playing and all the guys are playing this year. And like I said earlier, it starts with me. I got to lead. I got to, do better coaching and, be in detail in my work. And so that they will. Because if I don't, they won't. If I will, they will. And so it starts with me. And so, but back to K Part, man, he's done a really good job of just leading and just practicing and working, keeping his head down, remaining humble every day.
November is a big month for football, but also for all the players. It kind of leads them into finals week and all their academics. What is that like as a coach, knowing that they're balancing the end of a football season and also the end of an academic year?
I think, it goes back to Coach Sweeney. Number one purpose of our program is to graduate our players. He takes pride in that. And and that's felt throughout this building. We have a great academic staff, a great support system for our players. And so we're in tune to what's going on. As a staff, as a position coach, I know all my players' schedules. I know where their classes are at. If they are not present for a tutor or academic meeting, I'm going to know about it. And we install discipline when they don't show up. And so academics and getting the education is our number one priority here at Clemson. And so that's one of the reasons why I love Coach Sweeney. That's the most important thing to him, that we graduate our players and develop men. And so that's what we're doing. And so we're in tune to that. We work obviously very well with the academic people in the university, just, knowing when guys have got, exams and test scores, and, they're student athletes, they're students first. So that has not really been a challenge here. I think, we do a really good job with our academics and NERI, and, that portion of our football program has just been outstanding.
About Peter's recruiting. I heard that on his official visit, you actually played the guitar with him and his family, and sang with you. I guess, what's your background musically, and kind of do you bring that guitar around all the time?
I grew up in church. My grandfather was a pastor, and I have a lot of musical talents. I can play the lead guitar, bass, drums, piano. I just don't play any wind instruments. And so that's a talent that God has given to me. And I usually make sure that I use it for His glory. Peter, we have a very similar background. Obviously, his pastor, his father, Jermaine, is a pastor. And so we can relate on that level. I will bring my guitar out during official visits and have an opportunity to play and sing sing along with families, and people usually enjoy that. And so, Peter is a very, very talented individual. He's a musician himself, and he's also a very good vocal singer. And so, that's the thing about Clemson, man. It's just more than football here with our players and staff as well. A lot of talented staff members like Daquan Bowers and Corey Crawford. They are musicians as well. So, I love being able to, really using my gift for the glory of God when I give an opportunity. And so, but we're able to connect on that level from a musical standpoint.
I guess you already kind of knew him being in Auburn before. You already kind of developed a relationship. But how much did you have to build that once you got here?
I don't usually, when people talk about recruiting, I don't use the word recruiting. I talk about relationship. I want to have a relationship with you where we connect, on a personal level. I want to know your family. I want to know everything about who you are. And that's kind of, that's been my thing, but that's who Clemson is. We want to know who you are. That's why we're always slow to offer when it comes to offering scholarships, and commitment means commitment here at Clemson. And when we're committed to you, we're committed to you. And so for me, when going back to the relationship, with Peter, it's always been a relationship, man. Just being able to lead and figure out, hey, am I a fit for you? And I think that, it helped obviously getting in early, building that relationship. But I think when he had an opportunity to come here to Clemson, it just put icing on the cake, being in this building, being around our staff, being around the people here, being at the game day experience, and because it's a special place. And so, when he had an opportunity to come to OV, that's a slam dunk. We got great recruiting staff that does a really great job of just, how we operate, during our OVs and during our recruiting process, so it made it easy.
You run the team church band or something?
Yes. So last year I had an opportunity to run team church. Yes, I'm in charge of the band, me, Daquan Bowers, and Joel Davis, who obviously one of our directors at Paul Journey, and Chanel Valentine, and so on and so forth. And, it was brought to, Reggie Pleasant does a good job, in terms of our spiritual leadership team, and, asked me to kind of put together a band. And, I know the individuals that have musical talents and have a lot of church background, spiritual background. And so, yeah, we got together, set up a stage, and rehearsed maybe for an hour or two. That's why it always pays to be able to play by ear and be able to hear music and then, play it back to you. And that's a special gift that God gave to me, that I don't know how to read music, but I can hear things and then I can play it back to you. And so it's truly a blessing to be able to do that. And, man, it's been really a great opportunity to worship, with our team, with our staff. And we usually have about 200 to 300 people there. And it's in a neutral location. It's right here in our indoor facility. And, man, we get an opportunity to worship with each other, and it's been a really amazing experience.
How does that just further deepen your connection with people, or maybe even created bonds that you maybe didn't think that you were going to connect with somebody, and then now this has opened doors? Yeah,
I mean, it's huge, and that's what Clemson is about. It's about relationships and bonding with people. But when spiritual level, that's a whole deeper bond, and being able to worship with people. And there's a lot of people that came to Team Church, didn't know I was a musician, or they didn't know Coach Crawford could play the drums. They didn't know Coach Bowers can play the guitar, or they didn't know we had Peter Woods is a really good singer. And to be in that environment, man, because this is foundation. This place, man, it's built. God built this. Coach Sweeney keeps God first in everything he does. That's what makes this place so special. That God is at the center. He's at the foundation of this program, and we always keep that before us. And so to be able to worship with the people in this building, it's just truly special, because they're not doing that in a lot of places. I've had an opportunity to play for 40 NFL teams and coach for 3 NFL teams, and an opportunity to coach at a couple of preview places in the collegiate level, and there was no team church, and so, man, to have an opportunity to do that is just truly a blessing, and it says a lot about our culture and who we are as a team.
Is Peter the only singer, or are there other athletes that sing?
There are some other athletes. Peter's probably the only singer that was probably brave enough to get up in front of people and sing. But I think there's a lot of guys that have a really good voice. I think Black's Huckabee is one, obviously, and Joel, and then Chanel Valentine's in recruiting, and Corey Crawford can actually hold a note. So can Daquan. So can myself. But we're more on the background singing part of that, not lead singers. But we have a lot of people, man, that have a lot of beautiful talents, and that are willing to, give glory to God. So truly amazing opportunity to be able to do that here at Clemson.
How important is it to be able to show these young men that you can be all in on football, not to steal Dabo, but you can be all in on football, but still have these other interests or passions or areas that you can invest in. Like, I just think of like, you tell these kids all these things and they're inundated with like these dream big images of what life is going to be like or what their college experience is going to be like. How valuable is that? And from your own experience coming up through football to actually see it displayed and celebrated by their leaders, by their coaches, by their mentors.
Exactly. There's more in life than football, and I think that's when Coach Sweeney put together this program. Obviously, the number one thing is to graduate our players and want to make sure they be equipped with tools for life. And so, giving guys the opportunity to be who they are. You can't have your identity tied up in football because it's going to end. I had an opportunity to play double-digit seasons in the NFL, play here at Clemson myself, and, man, they had to be more to me than just football. And I think a lot of guys struggle with, finding out who they are because they've got so much tied up into the game of football. And it's a very short window, and it goes by really quickly. And I think just the way that we're structured, the way this program is built, man, allows guys to tap into areas of their lives because, we want them to be great husbands, great fathers, great men in society. Guys have a 1.6 or 1.8% chance to make it to the NFL, right? And so, man, that's a lot of guys who are not going to make it. That's just the reality of it. And so, man, you have to be tied into something greater than football. And I think this place is built to allow guys to tap into other areas of their life because God has given us all different talents. We have something. Everybody has greatness on the inside of them, just to find out what that is. And I think through our Paul journey, I just think through, our academics and through our culture, guys are able to, find out, hey, what am I really good at? And we cultivate that and we help them grow in that area. And that's what makes this place different from a lot of other programs in the country. Because we allow guys to, you got micro internships, we got the CAB, we have all these places where guys can do podcasts or do photo shoots and do other things, be able to worship. We talked about that earlier. And so that's what separates us from everybody else in the country, allowing guys to tap into the man they are, outside of football.